I feel that the environment, what we have of it left on the planet, is affecting the way we build things today, but also the economy, which is affected by a depleting environment.
I've been on Galiano for 22 years now, and my relationship with this area is, shall we say, imposed by economy.
I have lived in Galiano for 10 years and moved here about 2 years ago to Terra community, where I have 2 acres in this beautiful rainforest and build a studio from the forest itself. I live off the grid.
I'm from the city. When you buy a property, it's already in a subdivision, there's already water. It's like, he said, well, we have to bring water to the house. It's like, well, isn't it just there?
What is unique to this island? At one time I would say there was a community and there was a sense of peace or peacefulness here. Since my arrival here and shortly after, there's been this polarization of the development, anti-development forces that has shattered the social peace, but left the environmental peace for the meantime.
More and more of these islands are becoming victim to the bureaucracy of red tape.
My intention and design expression for this property was to fit within the letters of the law or below them and provide a shelter and opportunity for my family of 6 altogether.
You just sort of look at all the stuff that we had and said, okay, this is what we can build, and that's mainly how we did it.
It's a very simple structure, posts and beams, and I think it's just more the design, the high ceilings. I didn't want to finish it with plaster or anything, so what I did, I finished it with canvas.
I was sold 2 derelict fiberglass hulls. They were 60 feet long and each was about 8 feet wide. I basically patched it up, and then I found a 3rd hull on the bottom of Montague Harbor, which I floated, rebuilt this hull to incorporate it in this whole design.
Work in progress.
And when people are struggling to survive and all, they'll build as environmentally friendly as they can out of whatever they can make a house out of.
We built it from a chicken barn.
We built it from a used chicken barn and from the wood on our property, and rather than a cookie cutter house, we wanted something special, and this is our house.
Materials I used in the construction of these houses is largely plywood, harvested with due diligence and respect. It's a sustainable resource. Stresses in my designs are largely carried through the plywood, and the plywood becomes a structural as well as, well, sculptable material.
I think one of the most unique things is that I left the bark on the trees.
The sustainability feature is one of the primary reasons for me building this structure. I'm contributing very little to greenhouse gas emissions. Also, I'm not contributing to groundwater pollution and corruption.
There's a certain home that shouldn't have a sewer system and a water system running to it and pavement everywhere. Just there's a certain home that shouldn't have that.
I'm living here like this because of a couple of different reasons. One is the housing market right now is totally out of reach. I couldn't see paying rent. I would prefer to save that money and put it into something that I would enjoy. Tinkering in the wood shop and building this is more enjoyable for me than paying rent.
I guess some of the land that we were looking at, we just we couldn't afford. And so then we saw this piece of land. We thought, okay, this is what we can afford, but we couldn't get a house down here.
It just doesn't warrant a subdivision home. As soon as you see a subdivision home, it's like the first feeling I get is, why is that here?
Living here so close to nature, actually as part of nature, has inspired me more than anything in my work. You can see it in my work. It's very organic.
And I don't care if that means just building a house out of old tires and pouring it full of cement, or if you gotta, make a shack out of toothpicks. People are gonna do what they gotta do.
The way this evolved was because of the limitations of the property and the economy of the people that purchased the property. If you've got the amount of money to buy the property, you've got the money to build and live in a normal house.
What do I see for the future of development on Galiano Island?
You'll always see interesting shapes, but I don't know about experimental lifestyles.
This place to me is a bit like paradise.
The different strengths of the different people that live here will make sure that Galiano stays fairly unique to a lot of other places on the planet.
More gray hairs and more money, less imagination, and less need to conform to constraints, environmental or social or economic.